economic development rises higher and higher. In this point, Adam Smith laid more importance on the division of labor, capital accumulation, and savings. Adam Smith's progressive state is in reality the cheerful and hearty state to all the different orders to the society. But this progress or progressive state is not endless. This progressive state ultimately leads to stationary state. The stationary state has some characteristics by unchanged population, constant total income, subsistence, wages, elimination of profit in excess of the minimum, consistent with risk and absence of net investment. In his opinion, an economy in a stationary state finds itself at the highest level of prosperity, consistent with its natural resources and environment. A reason for stationary state, that is, the competition for employment reduces wages to a subsistence level, and competition among the businessmen leads to a downfall of profit as low level as possible. If the profit once fall, it continues to fall. When the profit falls, the businessman does not want to invest in economic activity. That's why investment also fall. In this way, the end result of capitalism is stationary state. When this type of incidents happens, it means competition for employment reduces the wages into the subsistence level. Competition among the businessmen will lead to the declining of investment. Declining of investment will lead to the low level of profits, and the low level of profit will cause to the low level of investment, and low level of investment becomes the reason for the end of capitalism. End of capitalism is a stationary state. When this happens, capital accumulation will stop and it will lead to population becomes stationary, or further no increase in population, or the population growth will decline, and profits of businessmen are minimum, wages goes down to subsistence level, and it will lead to there is no change in per capita income, and production and economy reaches the state of stagnation. The stationary state is dull, declining, melancholic. In this stationary state, life is hard for different sections of the society and miserable in declining state. I want to clarify about the stationary state. Stationary state does not mean the case of underdevelopment. Rather, it means that here there is no growth. The per capita income becomes stagnant. Profits are minimum. Wages are at subsistence level. Population growth will remain constant, and there is no change in the output of the economy. Here we have to know about this stationary state, the process of growth and stationary state by a help of diagram, OX-axis and Y-axis. In OX-axis we take the time, which we give the name to time for t, and a rate of accumulation. Time is taken along the x-axis and the rate of accumulation along the y-axis. The economy grows from point K to point L. Here we have to take the point K started, and after some time it increases and becomes stagnant. The economy grows from point K to L during the time path t. After t, the economy reaches a stationary state L, where further growth does not take place because wages rises so high that profits become zero and capital accumulation stops. Critical appraisal of Adam Smith theory. Smith's basic theme is that economic growth depends upon the accumulation of capital, and those factors which affects its rate. Smith's theory has great advantage of pointing out how economic growth comes about and what factors and policies impede. He discussed the importance of parsimony in saving and capital accumulation. He also laid importance on improved technology, expansion of market in production, and of the process of balanced growth in the interdependence between farmers, traders and producers. Despite all this, it has certain drawbacks which we are going to discuss one by one. First one, that is Adam Smith theory is static model. According to Hicks, Adam Smith theory looks like a growth model, but in the real sense it is not a growth model. It does not exhibit a sequence. In this way, it is a static model. Adam Smith neglects of entrepreneur. Smith neglects the role of entrepreneur in development. This is a serious defect as his theory. The entrepreneur is the focal point of development, as pointed out by the Schumpeter. It is the entrepreneur who organizes and brings about innovations, thereby leading capital formation. Adam Smith ignores the role of state. The policy of laissez-faire developed by him was in tune with the prevailing conditions, but in nowadays the modern economy needs the state interference. State interference is necessary in present changing circumstances. In this way, the role played by state cannot be challenged in present conditions due to the complex structure of society, one-sided saving base. According to Adam Smith, capitalists, landlords and money lenders all save. This is one of the defect of Adam Smith theory. This is, however, a one-sided base of saving, because the major sources of saving come from income receiving community, not the capitalists, landlords and money lenders. In an advanced society, income receivers will save more, and these savings will become the new investments. Rigid division of society. Smith theory is based on the socio-economic environment prevailing in Great Britain and certain parts of Europe. It assumes that existence of rigid division of society between capitalists, including landlords and laborers, and neglects the middle class, which occupies a significant place in modern society. Unrealistic assumptions of perfect computation. Another drawback of Adam Smith theory is the unrealistic assumptions of perfect computation. Smith's whole theory is based on this assumption. The laissez-faire policy of perfect computation is not found in any economy. Rather, a number of restrictions are imposed on private sector and on internal and international trade in every country of the world. Unrealistic assumptions of stationary state. The end of the capitalist economy is the stationary state. According to Adam Smith, it implies that change in such an economy is near the point of equilibrium. There is progress, but it is steady. Already told about the stationary state and stagnation. There is a progress, but it is steady, uniform and regular like a tree. But this process of development is not satisfactory, because development takes place by fits and starts and is not uniform and steady. Thus, the assumptions of a stationary state does not seem to be true and logical. A role of improved technology. Smith skipped the role played by improved technology and positive relation between increasing real wages and labor productivity. Conclusion of Adam Smith theory. It can be concluded that Professor Adam Smith did not propagate by any specific growth theory. His views relating to economic development are part of a general economic principle propounded by